Bradley from Canada, what's up? Elton Musa, what's up? Yasmin Haas, what's up? If you're watching the replay, don't forget to just skip this countdown. If you're watching the replay, just skip this countdown. I see a bunch of you on. Don't be shy. Say hi. Come on, what's up? Glenn, what's up? If you haven't yet, don't forget to like this episode. If you haven't yet, go ahead and like this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Oh yeah, let's go. Woo! Hobby, I didn't see your videos come in. Don't forget to tell me a joke. Charlie from Denver, what's up? Two minutes, guys. 2 minutes. One minute. 1 minute. Oh yeah. Let's go. Zen from Nevada, what's up?
Started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show. Hey.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released in the past week into about 1 minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and my guest this week is the director of SEO at Boost Rojas, Roman Adamita. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Aman, Charlie, Sahim, Brian, Zen, more Bradley. What's up, guys? What's up, everyone? But before be sure to type in I love SEO in the live chat or in the comment below for next week's giveaway. I'll pick 3 names. The first person to email me wins a shirt this week. Let's check it out. Natalie, email me. Kazu, are you here? Email me. Saeed, what's up? What's up? All right. Let's go. Let's get this going here. All right, guys. Thank you all for your support every week. We reached a channel milestone of 50,000 views. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
This is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. What is a black hat's SEO's favorite food? Spam.
By the way, if you have an SEO joke, record yourself and send it to dre@seo.video and I will play it next week. Google announced MUM, a new AI milestone for understanding information at Google I/O this week, and posted a blog about it. Let's listen into what Bill Slawski said about it.
MUM is a multimodal model that can be used as a pre-training language model.
All right.
It can recognize entities. It can recognize different natural language processing approaches. It can do question answering. It can do other stuff like that. It can identify parts of speech on pages. It can do open domain understanding of web pages it visits.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what domain. I don't mean domain like site name. I mean domain like area of expertise.
Yeah. It is really BERT times 1,000 or
Yeah.
Woodplex.
So Martin Splitt confirms Google's page experience update and Core Web Vitals update will be rolling out in mid-June to about August. Is this Google update mandatory? Loren Baker shares his thoughts.
And again, is it mandatory? Like you said, it can be a tiebreaker. It's a very small component in the overall algorithm. I get a lot of questions are coming in like, should we do this for Google? But to your point earlier, you're not just making these fixes for Google. You're making these fixes for the user experience at the end of the day. So I'll go ahead and answer this one. It is mandatory because you do not. It's person-datory because you do not want to have people visiting your site that can't load anything, that can't click on anything, that everything's moving around. Think of this. Don't just think of this as being in a technical SEO. Think of this like go into your different usability tools out there that are taking videos of how people are utilizing the site and see how your users are experiencing your site at the end of the day. Especially as you're elevating this internally to your devs to make these changes, which are critical, and the Google team, to Martin's point, has given us enough time to get ready for this. You've been able to get these fixes in. You've been able to build a case for it. At the same time, don't just fix these issues if it's showing up negatively on a Google score in Webmaster Tools. If you're able to identify usability issues, chances are they're going to haunt you further down the line from a ranking perspective as this becomes more important.
Do you know what also provides a better experience for your users? Optimizing for accessibility. When you optimize for accessibility, you're pretty much following SEO's best practices and creating the site that Google loves and trusts. Let's listen in on Copper on the Moz Whiteboard Friday.
Number one, it helps people with disabilities first and foremost. It makes the impossible possible. Number two, it helps businesses, right? You as a business owner, or as someone who's optimizing a website for a business, or even, maybe someone who's just trying to get into SEO and learn more, it's going to help your public perception. If you make a website that's accessible, it's going to be obvious, and people are going to thank you for that. They're going to say, oh, this company cares about all people and a diverse group of abilities. It's going to be a more durable experience for your customers. When you start to think about things like text alternatives and captioning and transcripts, and you kind of build this practice up over time, and you really build this habit of doing accessible work and inclusive work, you're going to find that your website is more durable. It's less likely to be hit by these algorithm changes and things like that, where people have taken the short-term approach. I know you're going to love this. It's going to help your SEO. It's going to give you a bigger audience. You've now taken your spotlight focus on just your bots, and you've expanded it to see the entire stage in front of you. So a bigger audience is going to be in front of you as well for a business, and that means more money, more people, and honestly, a lot less problems. And I think we all know this one, but lawsuits. If you do this, if you start implementing accessibility work, you start thinking about accessibility first and foremost as you're developing things, you're going to have a lot less lawsuits. People aren't going to complain. They aren't going to be upset by your lack of accessibility, because you won't have any. It will be accessible and inclusive for all people.
If you want Google to trust you and put you on the top of search results, you need to do your research, as inaccuracy can have serious ramifications. Let's listen in to what Lily Ray says.
You make sure things are factually correct before publishing them. So like the New York Times, for example, tends to publish a little bit later than a lot of the other publishers, because they're spending that time doing fact checking. Like, I have friends that work there, and that's like confirmed. Like we don't want to publish the wrong thing. So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why they do so well on Google, because Google can rely on them to not publish misinformation. Or when they do accidentally make a mistake, which happens in journalism, they put at the bottom of the page, we've revised this article, we incorrectly put this at the beginning and it's been fixed, So, and Google says throughout its guidelines, like, we look at the accuracy of content when we're evaluating how much we trust a given publisher. So, and like fact checking is something that Google's focusing a lot more on. So there's claim review schema. They're using claim review schema in new and different ways. So I think that they're very focused on it. It's just hard to determine whether or not a fact is true from an.
Be sure to fact check your facts. Do any of your stakeholders or clients ask you, how long does SEO take to work? Andrew Shotland gives us an excellent response I'm going to start using. Let's listen in.
The question I get asked all the time is, how long does it take SEO to work? And sometimes I think that's not exactly the right question. Of course, I want to know when, but really what you want to know is, what are the leading indicators that are showing my SEO is starting to work? And so those can be, depending on the project, could be very technical. Oh, is the number of index pages increasing? Is the crawl rate, the amount of times Googlebot comes through my site, is that increasing? Can I actually see the image in Google's cache that I couldn't see last week for my page? Those kinds of things. And generally what we see is, when you start to see a site improve its performance for those kinds of leading indicators, the SEO growth is not far behind.
What is content market fit? Ross Simmonds explains.
Content market fit is something that every organization wants. It's what organizations achieve when every single time they hit publish on a piece of content, they know with certainty that this piece of content is going to resonate with their audience. They know with certainty that this piece of content is going to connect with their target audience. That is the goal for every brand. But it starts by understanding first who your target audience is and where they're spending time, right? It's very easy to get caught up in this idea of, we need to come up with content ideas, but you need to start by knowing where your audience is spending time and look for what we call channel user fit. Channel user fit is when you know the target audience you're trying to reach is spending time on a certain channel. Let's say you're trying to connect with salespeople and you've validated and confirmed that salespeople are spending time on LinkedIn. That is channel user fit. Now, once you have that, you then move into a transition period where you're trying to find content user fit. What type of content do people who are inside, like salespeople on LinkedIn, actually resonate with? What type of content are they sharing? What type of content are they reading? What type of content is actually connecting with these people on that channel? When you uncover that, you have content user fit. And when you are able to uncover both of those things, channel user fit and content user fit, across a wide variety of different platforms, that's when you have content market fit. Because you can go to LinkedIn, you can go to Twitter, you can go to your blog, you can go to YouTube, and you can consistently push out content that you know your audience wants on the various channels that they're spending time on. And when you have that, you have content market fit.
Do the order of keywords make a difference in rankings? Ted Kubaitis shares some live research with at the SEO Fight Club. Let's check it out.
So Seattle Plumber Seattle, page 1 has all the same URLs, 100% the same URLs, but only 3 of them are in the same spot. So the rankings between Seattle Plumber and Plumber Seattle are different. And you get 95% of the same URLs in the top 20, but only 30% with the same rankings. So again, they're ranking differently. And, overall 7% across the top 100. So, this is telling me that Google is largely selecting the same pages for these very similar cases. So for indexing, they're kind of being treated the same. They're picking the same pages for indexing. They're just ranking them very differently.
There you have it.
If Google says, oh, it's all the same, maybe they just mean in that indexing part. Because it's not the same in the rankings.
There you have it. So if you put Plumber Seattle and Seattle Plumber, you will get different results. Aleyda Solis tells us, when is a good time to use Hreflang? Let's listen in.
Very much Hreflang annotation shouldn't necessarily be a concern only if you really have like an overlay type of issue. So for example, let's say that you have a web version targeted to the US and another to the UK and another in Canada, and then you see your Canadian pages ranking in the UK instead of the proper UK ones, or the UK pages ranking in the US instead of the right US pages. So in these sort of scenarios is that Hreflang annotations is so useful, because you pretty much pair your pages, your product A for the UK, product A for the US, product A for Canada, and you pair this different variations or different alternate versions of product A pages for your different markets, and to notify Google or inform Google which is the right one that they should show for the relevant country that you're targeting, right? So Hreflang solve this type of issues. So
I want to add to what Aleyda mentioned, because I've experienced country pages showing up in other countries with Hreflang implemented. I take it one step further. I add the country in the meta titles for my regional pages, and that seems to work. Speaking of technical SEO, this brings me to my favorite part of the show. My guest's blog was actually featured in Aleyda's SEO FOMO newsletter. So please, for all your technical SEO questions during our conversation, please ask so we can learn together. Okay, let me go ahead and get this set up.
Roman is an SEO doer and highly experienced technical SEO. He has over 7 years of digital marketing experience and leads the SEO team at Boost Rojas. He is a conference speaker and works with different brands in Turkey, Germany, and the US of A. He was a finalist in the Young Search Professional Award at the European Search Awards in 2019. He was a Young Search Professional Award winner at the MENA Search Awards 2019. Please welcome the SEO director, Roman Adamita.
Roman, what's up, my man? How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. What a video. What an introduction. Thank you.
I was sharing so much of your content on the show, like so many clips. I needed you to be a guest on the show. So thank you so much for being my special guest. I'm truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Me too.
Okay. I want to pick up for where I left off with Aleyda's last when you were featured in her newsletter. You talked about, I'm curious about that blog post. let's talk about it. Let's see, like, what happens if the blog post was titled, "What happens if canonicalization in e-commerce pagination pages to the first page?" So what happens there? Can you explain a little bit for those that didn't read that blog?
Yeah, it was a stressful 1 month after I published this blog post. But first thing first, Paul, I want to thank you very much for inviting me here. You do really very serious, and you take it very serious with these video shows. And I just wanted to thank you also for your contributions. So to get started with your question, actually, yeah, after I published it was 8th March, Women's Day. I published it at the night time, and I was so excited about this experiment because I find a little bit of time to do an experiment really advanced with log file, etc., with an e-commerce website. And it gets me out of trouble after I published it. It was because this experiment is actually goes against Google's rules. Mm-hmm. So Google don't recommend it. A lot of SEO don't recommend it. But the reason I published this blog post was because I wanted to see if Googlebot will find the products on the category pages. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the reason to recommend all to everyone to do this kind of experiment on their website because it's risky. Mm-hmm. It goes against Google and etc. details. So you need to be careful with that kind of experiments. Right now, to going into details regarding this blog post, like I said, it's mostly to see if really Google will find your product. So pagination, it's something about your design. It's not about your, internal linking. Because when you search on Google, any query, anything, long-term or short-term, Google never will show websites in the results from second page or third page. So actually, that's the reason why I wanted to experiment this one on a big e-commerce website. So what I found as the results is Google will find these products, and you'll find from another internal linkings, and from sitemap, from backlinks, etc. Pages. So that's not a big deal to canonicalize, but I don't recommend to everyone, of course.
Got it. And again, that was featured on Aleyda's massive email list. So congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Roman, I need to turn back the clock. All right. Let's figure out. Take me all the way back to when you started SEO. When did you learn it? Oh, how'd you get into it? Take me back to the beginning.
Oh, the beginning. I went to Turkey. I was in Moldova. So I wanted to study in Turkey, actually. But in the final, I didn't graduate at any university. I tried 4 times, but I can't do that. I can't make that. So, but I didn't give up. So I found a company which does create websites with Magento. It's an infrastructure. So there I did a lot of manual things as a junior web developer. I wasn't SEO in the first place. I started as a junior developer, HTML, CSS editing, or adding images, or edit the content on the pages, on the product pages, etc. things. So right after that, I I was curious, what if I create my own blog? So I started to create that when I was 16 years ago. And because of I already knew Turkish, I lived in Turkey for 4 years then. I started to write in Turkish because my native language, Romanian, it's actually not a really popular thing when you write in Romanian something. So I started to write in Turkish as my second language. And then I realized that I want to get some traffic, to get some comments, because I ask something, because I contribute something, because I find my own blog posts really useful, but I need some attention to get from Google, from Yandex, etc. I didn't realize that Google is the best one in the here. So I started to find some people who does in Turkey that kind of stuff, who gives some services. So I started to go to a lot of conferences. I take a lot of notice them there, and I included them to my blog post. And I shared them to Twitter, to LinkedIn. So 16, 17 years, and I start to publish something on Twitter or on LinkedIn. This was something big for me. So then I got a lot of attention. Like, people started to reshare, to mailing me, what a great blog post, what a great notice, because not everyone shared that kind of stuff, despite, of course, companies' experts. But as a freelancer or as a junior developer, I just started to make something for my blog post, and then I get into SEO. So this was my first year. Then I got some freelance works. I did a lot of stuff. So I started in 2013, by the way, into SEO. And my own blog is still active, but I don't share anything there. And in that times, then I didn't know actually English. I didn't know how to speak with people, but Romanian, Russian, and Turkish was the languages I knew. So I speak with a lot of people in the industry, so they helped me. They support me with a lot of information. They showed the way where to be or something like that. So that's it. How I get into SEO.
So it was conferences, and you had your blog. Was there any other particular person you were following online during that time?
Oh yeah, it was in Turkey. I followed a lot of people actually at the conferences, but also I knew Moz. Whiteboard Fridays. Yeah, there was Whiteboard Fridays, and I followed them every week on Friday. So actually, by the way, weekly SEO is coming from motivation of the Whiteboard Friday.
Nice. Not the SEO video show?
I'm just
kidding.
That's one of them.
Nice. So Whiteboard Fridays. I mean, so you're probably following Rand and everyone from the channel over there.
Yeah. Let me say, it was Will Reynolds, Cyrus Shepard, Lily Ray, Emily Potter, Aleyda Solis was there, Rand Fishkin, of course. I can't go over it because there was a lot of people. I just followed them, and I can't say everyone's names right here, but if you want to know who I follow since then, you can follow on see this on Twitter, on my Twitter account.
Nice. So what is your Twitter account so everyone knows to follow you?
Oh, Adamita Roman.
Adamita Roman. All right. Okay, we had a comment here from Hobby. I just came back from holiday in Turkey from Bodrum, Mihas. There are so many 5-star hotels in Turkey. Have you ever made some SEO for any 5-star hotels?
Oh, I didn't have a chance to do SEO for hotels, but maybe one day.
There you go. There you go, Hobby. All right, let's get back to all about you over here. I want to know, okay, so you actually won some awards. You were doing this, sharing this. You developed your personal brand and became a thought leader here in the SEO space. And you won an award as the youngest search professional of the year. What was this award about? Like, what were you recognized for here?
Yeah, actually, I was awarded for Young Search Professional of the Year at MENA Search Awards. At European Search Awards, I was just finalist. So when I won this award, I was 23. I was so excited that day. I was in Dubai, my first time when I went there. And I had just 6 years of experience, almost 6 years of experience in SEO in this industry. I always contributing something since then because I had my own blog. I made a lot of videos, but I didn't share in some places. I just made them for my clients. I teach my team, etc. Since then I had more than 40 blog posts. So yeah. It was like a criteria, I guess. So I did a lot of experiments since then in 6 years. For example, I shared 4 of them on my own blog posts, picardes.com, by the way. You can translate that in English, it's Turkish. So one of the experiments was, what if we share a content from our website to medium.com? Because it makes a little bit duplicate content if you share in another website, but I included a resource from my own blog. So I get the results. Or what if we change data, date from a blog post? Will Google treat like new blog post? It was 3 or 4 years ago. And a lot of really positive results after that. Also, I don't know what you can do now or what kind of results you can get if you experiment that, but it was really old one. So I had 7 friends who helped me to test one thing. It was one exciting thing. What if we click by real time from different countries? Because my 7 friends was from different countries.
Yeah.
So I made a group on Skype. Then was a Skype. Then I had a Skype, and I said some rules what they should do. So, for example, they search for a query to reach to my blog post. After they reached my blog post, they click there, they read for 4 minutes, and then they just closed the tab, the blog post. So, like I said, they was in different countries, different male, female, and different ages. And another positive result after that, real-time clicks. Yeah, it was all blog posts. Yeah, or 4th one is about what if we do short URLs from long URLs, etc. So, long story short, it's about SEO experiments. This was, I guess, this was the best criteria for judges to see what kind of expert I am, what kind of professional I am. Am I deserve this award? Also, I was an entrepreneur in my young age, from 17 to 19 years ago. I had a project with three friends, which was from IT, a developer, and finance. So that project was about classified, right?
Classifieds, yeah. Classifieds, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a Romanian project, but actually nobody knows about this because I didn't share anything. But if you research a little bit about me, you can reach that project anywhere on Google. So it was I was entrepreneur for 2 years, but right after that we stopped investing on that because we lost a lot of money with that project. And yeah, so also. Wow. Also, I don't know if it was a criteria, but I speak in 4 languages. Not really great at English, but I'm still trying to figure out how to speak with people in English. So the another best one, I guess, is being self-taught. Like I didn't graduate, I didn't went to a university, but everything I learned myself. Like there wasn't anybody to help me to reach the point where I was then and when I'm here. It's all about me. But beside that, of course, there was a lot of people who contribute to blog posts, to videos, which supported me by reading that. I read that, but they contributed. So it's not 100%, of course, about me. I learned from them. So then I started to leading and encouraging a team at Boostros right now. I'm almost more than over 3 years now. I'm working for Boostros as a director of SEO. So I am leading and encouraging the team there. I am trying to solving complex problems. Time to time, I do SEO experiments, but not that which is going Google rules against Google rules. So I guess this one of criteria. Also, before COVID times, when I was in Turkey, I gave clients courses besides being a consultant, besides solving problems. I giving trainings to my clients because they was big clients, but there was a lot of people who wanted to know how Google approaches SEO, how SEO work, and etc. things. So I guess it's one of the criteria also. And that's it.
Love it. What a journey. What a journey. That's a great journey to now you're leading a team of SEOs. So I got a few questions. I want to take it back to some of your tests because you didn't give us the results. I'm curious. So what happened when you actually posted your blog on Medium and on your blog? Did that actually produce positive results? What happened there?
No, negative.
Oh, okay, okay. Negative results.
On Google and Yandex. Because I wanted to test on Yandex, on Google also. So both of them have a similar algorithm to analyze the content. So I guess both of them is using the same algorithm.
And so the next one you didn't give us the result was the short URL, the short long URL. How'd that one work out?
Positive.
Oh, so yeah. Short URLs better than long URLs?
Definitely. So it was really all the experiments from 2017 to 2019. You can reach them from like I said, a website by translating in English. So I don't know how it works right now because I don't have a lot of time to do that kind of experiments. It takes a lot of time to get the results because you need to wait, you need to be accurate with the website. So that's it.
Got it. Okay. So if anyone wants to check that out, check out his blog. It's on your blog, right? On your blog in Romanian. So we had a question here by Aman. He goes, hi Roman. How do you deal with the web dev and the SEO team issue?
That's definitely a great topic. And thank you for the question, Aman. Actually, I wrote a blog post on that, and I record a video on YouTube how to deal with them. There in weekly can reach the video, but shortly, briefly, you need to treat them like your team, because they are working for a company. You're working in agency. So treat them like they are your team. Work with them like you give them trainings, but you don't teach them how to do their work. You need to show them why they should do that. What's the reason beside why we do that? So actually, it's the best trick I can give. Don't teach them how to do their work. Just give them as an advice and show them why they should do that.
Love it. Dropping those knowledge bombs there, Roman. I love it. Love it. Okay, you know what else I love? I love the trick that you shared one time, which I actually featured this in one of my shows, where you can find different related keywords when you change the date on Google. You know, you change the settings and put like maybe the last 24 hours, then you search your same term, and then the related keywords in the bottom will change. Stuff like that, right? That was a great tip. I'm curious, like, are there any other tips with Google that you use and play with that you can give to the audience on developing a strategy here?
All right. So actually, this was something I just find really randomly.
Okay.
On Google, because you need to test something to get the result, right? If you don't test it, if you don't see how it works, there is no result. So Google has a lot of free tools. We need to use them because they are really, I would say, we don't use them because we have a lot of premium or freemium or free and other tools, which uses Google's APIs. Google actually gives the data, but we don't know that there is Google Keyword Planner, which gives us a lot of metrics, a lot of insights. For example, if you searching for what kind of keywords we should work on, and what's the search volume of their month by month or year over year, because they're for a long time, what's the search volume for them, or also, we can use Google Data Studio because Google Data Studio also has a lot of insights. You just need to know how to use Google Data Studio because Google, it's a little bit technical, but once you get it, you will find a lot of actionable reports from there.
Got it. Okay. So, I mean, what are some of the things? So you integrate Data Studio. And then some of their APIs, like give me like something that I can do, like if I want to just do it right now.
All right. So for example, when I want to search what kind of, what's the latest SEO blogs on specific topic,
okay,
I enter on Google in title or just double quotes, and there in double quotes, I enter the specific keyword that I want to search, that I want to see what kind of blog post is shared in the last week. So I search for that, and then I am going to settings, and I set the data range, so weekly or monthly, or when I want to see when it was published. So for example, weekly, you can see directly on Google what kind of content was indexed by Google and if it's similar or not. So one of them is that. Also, you can use Google Images to see what kind of images is in the first line, because first there is no first rank. There is a line. There is first line. Yeah. So you need to see if user intent is like for example, if I search for mountain bike, for example, my intent is to see images. My intent is to see directly products. So Google also knows that, and Google is showing the images in the first place. Or you can see like that. If you search for a query on Google, you see under search bar all images, news, videos, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So this place is changing by the query. For example, if I'm searching for mountain bike, after all tab, there is images. But in another different queries, you can see instead of images in the second place, you can see videos. So in that way, you will understand what's the intent of users, what users want to see. So it's changing time to time based on your keyword.
Love it. You dropped 2 nuggets on that one, right? So there's finding out what's the most recent blog post about the changing the dates, and then also checking what the actual categories, right? If there's videos, images, news, or anything like that. If it changes, you can determine intents. Love it, love it. Thank you for that. Okay, we got a question here by Sahin. What's the best part of SEO to solve technical issues or make them come up with better content? What is the best part of SEO? To solve technical issues or to make them come up better content?
All right, I guess I got this question.
Yeah.
Shahin is my boss, by the way. Is owner of Boostros.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Boss man is in town. What's up? Okay, Roman, you gotta.
Yeah, I will answer briefly because I answered that question to him a lot of times. But everyone should know that if you don't make a clear website for Google from a technical part, your content will never be visible on Google. Because, for example, if your page speed is really low, the score is really low, your content will never be reachable, or users can't reach that content because your page speed is really bad. So start with technical part, and right after that, don't stop, make some changes on your design. I don't know, something that will be useful for your users. Standard works like optimizing your sitemap or optimizing page speed, canonical, etc. things.
Mm-hmm.
You can make some things on your website, for example, on internal linking, etc. things. But after you do these things, start with your content. Or you can publish content in that process. So Google time to time will visit your website and will understand what kind of stuff you are sharing there.
Love it. It looks like I'm seeing familiar names here. I'm seeing some people from your weekly SEO show over here. I see everyone saying hi. Everyone, welcome to the show. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now that you're giving us some tricks and tips like that, so I'm curious, like, how do you even come across these tips, like these random tips? I mean, is it by accident? Are you like just trying to just break Google somehow? I mean, like, how are you finding these crazy tips?
All right, I don't break Google, but you actually answered the question. I spontaneously, actually, I find a lot of things by spontaneously, randomly, like that one you asked me the question about time on Google, about changing the time and about relevant queries. So also I use a lot Twitter, I use a lot Reddit, I use a lot Quora, and YouTube, of course, because YouTube is a part of my job, because making videos is actually a thing that we should take care of, because there is a lot of videos, but we need to make something different from another ones. So for example, SEO video show is something really different. You have rap, you have funny things. I don't know, you have styles here. You have your style. You're really wonderful man.
My hair?
And you definitely your hair, yeah. So research them. Just go to Twitter, go to Reddit or YouTube. You will see there are a lot of stuff. You just need to follow the right channels.
Got it. All right, guys, be sure to follow the right channels to get those right hacks and follow the right people, because you may be doing some harm than some good. But let's check this out. I have right here, I asked this question to all my SEO professionals that come onto the show. If someone wants to get into the SEO industry, become an SEO professional, be the next director of SEO of Boost Rojas, what do they need to do? How can they do it?
All right. Starting with me, I use Google to do this. I use a lot Google to learn a lot of things. So also the biggest part of my job is to use Google, is to learn something from Google, because Google has a lot of things, like I said, about on search or in their resources, Webmaster Forum or their Search Central, or every week on Friday, John Mueller has their own sessions, etc. So I use Google to raise my expertise on something specific that I want to learn. So Google is a treasure, really. There is a lot of stuff. So my first thing, I always say this, I need to research something before ask someone. So asking someone is something you shouldn't do that in the first place. In the first place, you need to search that on Google. So actually, also my clients takes care of it, because my clients comes to me and they have problems. Mm-hmm. They need to solve some specific problems. So I am the solver. I am that man who creates strategies, create long-term or short-term strategies for their company. So clients is actually the best thing. You can learn a lot of things. You can be a SEO professional. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anyone has a mentor, or not anyone works for a company. There is a lot of freelance SEO consultants, or there is a lot of juniors, but not everyone has a mentor. So I wish we all had a HREF for us, but we don't have a HREF because it's hard to find them. It's hard to find a guy, anyone that will raise us immediately. But it will be really a big point. Like, if we are here, we can make it here with a mentor.
Yep.
So it's actually, HREF is from a TV show, by the way. So he was a lawyer, and he was a big man, and he raised a junior advocate, a lawyer. So yeah, self-motivation to learn on Google, definitely. So we don't need to be excellent at everything. Like, if I am director of SEO, I don't do a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know Python, but should I know Python? No, because my thing is to be a showrunner, maybe to make video shows like weekly SEO. My job is to talk with clients to see if they are satisfied. My job is to create strategies. My job isn't to write coding, but I don't say like, you don't need to know a programming language. I say you need to be really good at something specific. For example, pagination. Pagination is one of my favorite things that I really enjoy it. So I will have a new experiment on pagination about designing it, not about canonicalize. So sooner or later it will be published, So pagination, for example, is something you can be expert on this. So it's a part of your job. For example, Mary Haynes, Haynes. Yeah, Haynes. She is she has the expertise on link building, on like disavowing toxic backlinks, right? She shares a lot of case studies on that. And she don't say, I sell your SEO services. SEO services is very generic. She's saying that I am the best on disavowing toxic backlinks. And yeah, she's the best. Or I'm good at site migration because I did a lot of them and none of them was with negative impact. All of them was with positive impact. So I do site migration, for example. So like I said, be great on a specific topic, but another ones you should maybe take care of or something do with them, but don't be really like a tool. But use tools, like use Deepcrawl, use Screaming Frog, use Botify, use SEMrush, HREFs, and a bunch of tools. But you will test them. You will know how they works. You will understand what kind of technical issues you can't see with your eye, because Deepcrawl or another tools can see everything that you can see by doing manually. So being expert at using tools is another thing. Like be an expert on a specific tool, for example. But I always saying, don't do 100%, don't complete 100% what tools gives to you, because not everything is actually a problem there. Use your brain, use your intelligence to make a strategy after you see the problem, because reporting a problem is just reporting. But if you see a problem and if you have a strategy for that, if you think about this, maybe in the long term, you can be a really winner.
Excellent!
Love it, love it. Thank you for that answer. That was very, 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 very good. We have one question. If we can answer this really quick. We had a question from Hobby. In how many languages do you offer SEO services?
Actually, right now in English and in Turkish, because I know also Turkish. So in Romanian and Russian, I don't have any clients, but why not? Maybe one day.
There you go. There you go. All right. Okay. This is, we're coming to the very end of the show. Roman, if there's anything else that you want to say to make sure this episode feels so complete for you, the stage is yours. Any last comments or advice or anything for the audience?
Yeah, I will say it again. Start with starting, and that's everything I can say right now. So thank you again very much for inviting me here. It was a pleasure.
Love it, love it. How can people get a hold of you again? Is it what's your LinkedIn, Twitter?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or LinkedIn just by searching my name.
There you go. There you have it. Okay, Roman, can you hold on for just one quick second while I sign off real quick? Just hold on real quick. All right.
Yep.
All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified every week when we go live. Also, please sign up for my newsletter for a weekly recap every Monday at seo.video/recap. That's seo.video/recap. And I'll just email you all the nuggets every Monday. So be sure to check that out. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, cause the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!